Crafty Kate and I run a small crochet business. On this channel we talk all things yarn and crochet. I was recently talking to some of my Patreon members and we were talking about color changes, and I recently learned a new way to do bobble color changes to make them more seamless, and I was really excited to share it with everyone. So I thought I would make a video and also include how I do just regular color changes. And then I also wanted to add a quick thank you to all of my Patreon members. Thank you all so much. And if you are interested in becoming a Patreon member, I will have it linked down in the description. There's a community chat. I do sneak peeks and polls and just some kind of behind the scenes content, extra things like that. So go check it out if you're interested. So I'm going to use two different colors to hopefully show you how I do this, but just an example of the way I used to do bobble color changes. This is a Diddy Dex Dragon that I made a while ago, and the front looks just fine, but the back has these little pieces of color that show through. And this new way I learned to do the bobble color change, these are not there. It's just completely seamless. It is a little bit tricky with how to hold it and stuff like that, so it will take some practice, but it looks so much better. So I'm really excited to show that to you guys. And then also just how I do regular color changes. I do end up, I don't cut and tie every time I do a color change. For the most part, I carry the yarn through my project, if that makes sense. So I'll show you a little bit of that. I'm not going to make an actual plushie, but I'll make kind of a little thing to show you how I do that and then add some bobbles. So I'll take you over here and show you what I learned, and I hope it is helpful. Okay, so I have a magic ring here with 6, and then I just increased. And so I'm going to do a color change right here. So wherever your color change is, I don't do the last loop to finish the single crochet like you normally would. So the stitch before the single crochet I leave unfinished, and I have my hook in it, and then I grab the new color and I hold it like this, and I just loop it over the hook and then hold both ends and then pull it through, and then I tuck the short end behind and kind of hold it with my other finger back there like that, and then I do the next stitch, whatever it is in the pattern. We're just going to do a single crochet, and then I usually do 1 or 2 stitches, and then let's say we're done with the blue, so I flip it over, set it down, cut the blue, and then the short end of the pink and the blue I just tie a knot. You don't want to pull it too tight because it will tighten the stitches on the outside, so just tie a knot. And then you can continue on. Just like that. And then that's all there is to it. So then if you want to switch back to blue, I'm going to show you how I kind of carry the yarn through. So take that loop out, stick the hook back through, just like that. And then you grab your blue, hold it like this, loop it over, hold the ends, pull it through, and then tuck your short end back and hold it with your finger, and then make your stitches. So we'll do 1, 2, and this time I'm not going to cut the pink because I'm going to carry it around, so we're going to leave the long end, and then our short end of the blue, we'll tie a knot. I'm just showing you the different ways to do it. Obviously this, I wouldn't cut and tie and then add it back right away. I would just carry it. So this is showing you carrying it. So you tie your knot, and then we'll just do another stitch for fun. Okay, and then we're going to want to add pink again. So since the pink is already attached back here, we have the long end, we'll just bring it along, and you don't want to pull it tight because that will pinch your work. So you want to keep it loose, and I'll even like put my finger on it to make sure it doesn't pull it tight. And then so hold it like that, and then just grab it and pull it through. So that's your color change. So then you can keep going. So we can do a couple pink, and then if we want to switch to blue, you stop there, grab your blue, and you can kind of untwist them as you go. It doesn't matter which one's on top. So grab the blue here. This is the long blue. And we'll hold it right there, and then just pull it through. Make sure it's not too tight back there, and then just keep going. And then if we want to switch back to pink, go back and grab the pink strand, hold it tight so it's not pulling this, and then just pull it through and keep crocheting. And there you go. So then you end up with kind of a mess on the back, but as long as these aren't pulled tight, it won't affect the outside shape of the plushie. And I do this all the time and I've never had any trouble with anything. So I'm going to start a new one so I can show you how I do the bobbles. But let me know if you have any questions on this part. Hopefully that makes sense. Just carry it along. So let me get a new one going and I'll show you the bobble. Okay, so for a bobble, the old way I used to do it is very similar to the regular color change. I would leave that stitch unworked. I would add my next color, pull it through, and then just work my bobble like normal. So, and this works fine. This is how I've always done it. So we'll just do a 3 loop bobble. So for that you stop there and then grab your, I would tie a knot here. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to show you the other way here in a second, but so then you would finish it with your blue and then keep going, and you can see this stitch ends with the pink on the outside, so then when you do your next row, that's where those little bits of pink that show through show up. So instead of doing that, so here where you want your color change, the next stitch is going to be the bobble. You're going to actually finish this stitch, and then you're going to grab your pink and you're going to do it opposite of what we have been. So you want your short end on the back, and this is going to be considered your yarn over. So you got to hold it with your finger here, and then you have your long end here, and then you're going to do your bobble. So you got to hold that short end because it will move. So that's your first part of your bobble. So you're going to complete that double crochet or partial double crochet, and so this is still loose back here, so you got to keep holding that, and then you'll do another one, and it kind of stays once you get the second one, so you can let go, and then do your third one. And then this is where I would tie a knot. So I would tie a knot with the blue and the pink back here, not too tight. So there you have those knotted. And then you'll take your blue and you're going to finish the bobble. And then continue with your next stitch. Oh, you don't want to pull too hard. Okay, so make sure your pink is tucked back and then do your next stitch. And then you can see your bobble is actually blue on the outside instead of pink. So that makes the seamless bobble. Wednesday's playing with a toy in the background. Okay, so we'll do another one. So we'll get a couple stitches away from that one. So here's where I would just carry the yarn. So if we're doing a bobble in this next stitch, I'm not going to cut the pink. I'm just going to carry it over. And it's a little easier when you're carrying it over because it has tension on it. So you're going to find your long end. And you're going to do your yarn over with your pink. And then do your bobble. And again, you don't want to pull it too tight because you want this to be loose so that you're not distorting the shape of your plushie. And you'll just do your bobble like normal to there, and then you'll finish it with blue. So you'll go back and grab, this is my long end, it's getting short. You'll finish it with the blue, tuck your end back, and then do your next stitch. We're out of yarn. And there you go. Perfect little seamless bobbles with no pink showing through. Okay, I took it apart and I wanted to show you one more time just because I know holding it at the very beginning when it's not tied off is a little bit complicated. So we're going to put the bobble in this next stitch. So we have this stitch finished. And then you're going to grab your pink. And you're going to hold it opposite of what we were before. So you want the short end to the back. And this is going to be your yarn over. So you're going to hold that and then do your bobble stitch. So you're going to pull through to do that partially completed double crochet, and this is loose, so you want to hold that and then do your next one. And then once you pull that one through, it kind of holds that, so you don't have to worry about it so much. Then you can do another one. And then from here you want to finish it with the blue, but you want to tie a knot first so that this pink end is secure. So you're going to tie your knot. Not too tight because you're pulling on that blue that is the beginning of the stitch. So then you have your knot. And then you're going to switch to blue, pull it through everything to finish the bobble, and then just continue on. And like I said earlier, I typically just carry my yarn through everything. If I'm going to use it again, unless it's like really far away, then I'll cut and tie and start a new one the next time. But for the most part, like I'll just let this hang out in here. And if I'm going to do, like if I just did both front feet and then I need the pink again for like the back feet farther down the body, I'll just leave this in here and pull it across, just making sure not to pull it too tight so that it distorts the body. But I pretty much just carry my yarn through no matter what I'm doing. And then if you need a regular color change in here, you're just gonna not complete that stitch and then pull it through and then do your color change. And then when you go back to blue, you're just gonna drop the pink, pull it loosely across, hold it down, and then switch to it. So that's how I do my color changes for everything, and the new way I do my bobbles. Okay guys, I hope that was helpful. I was super excited to learn this new way, and honestly I saw a quick reel on Instagram that showed how to do it, and then I could not find the reel again, so I apologize if somebody out there was the one that taught me how to do it. I cannot find the reel. That's another reason I hate tutorials on Instagram. They get lost and you can't find them. So I wanted to make a searchable video for you guys here on YouTube, so you can always find it if you forget how to do it. But I was so excited to learn how to do that to make those seamless. And like I said, now my dragons won't have the little colors popping through back there. This is the Diddy Dex dragon from Handmade by Jody. I'll have that pattern linked in the description. And I also, the bobbles are modified by me. Those are not in the pattern, just so you know. But yeah, I was so excited to learn that, so I wanted to make sure everybody had access to it and didn't lose it on Instagram. And again, I'm sorry if you were the one that taught me how and I lost the reel, but I just could not find it again. I don't know how to search for things on Instagram, apparently. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. I know this was a short video, but I wanted to put out some more informative videos for you guys. So that's all I have for this time. For an emoji down in the comments for making it all the way to the end of the video, let's do a little yarn ball this time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!